Welcome to Yoga with Wendy on Friday, April 24th. Let's all settle in. So find a nice, comfortable, seated position. This will be a gentle class this morning. And as you settle in, notice if you need something to sit on, a block or a blanket. What can you do to support yourself to be more comfortable here this morning? And once you are seated, let's begin to drop the sits bones into the earth. So we're just dropping in, maybe moving butt flesh out of the way, sitting tall. We'll just take a breath and a big sigh together. Let's do one more of those. And so from here, as you continue to settle in, I'd like you to think about lengthening through the crown. Let's scooch the shoulders up around the ears. Drop the shoulders straight down the back body. Settle in, and let's just begin to bring a little bit of gentle movement into your shoulders, into the arms, the back body. Taking this opportunity for yourself to begin to bring some movement, some circulation, lymphatic flow into the body this morning. And as you keep the movement going, I invite you to remember that this is your practice. We're switching sides here, switching movement. This is your practice. If I offer something that doesn't work for you or doesn't feel comfortable, just don't do it. Do a child pose, do anything that makes sense for you. Don't worry about doing whatever I'm offering. Make this your class this morning. And so from here, we'll bring the elbows together and curl ourselves in. Inhale and open wide. We exhale, curl in. Inhale and open wide. Let's do that a couple more times. We're curling ourselves in, really, really rounding yourself in. And inhale, open up. Big breath here as we then reach out. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale and exhale. One more. And exhale. From here we land. Lengthen, finding space in the right side body as the right sits bones really root you in. We inhale up and drop over. Inhale, land and drop in. Inhale, land and drop in. With the next breath, we reach up, reaching up through fingertips. Exhale, shoulders drop down the back as you come to this little twist, taking the left shoulder really down the back. The left hand is supporting you as you sit tall. Exhale into a twist and breathe into your twist. Inhaling up, we exhale over. Sitting tall, right shoulder drops as you sit tall. Exhale and breathe into this twist. Coming back to the center. Let's bring a hand to the crown. Doesn't matter which one. The other one can be on the side of the body or behind the body. We sit tall, drop the head over into that bent elbow, and just bring a little bit of gentle movement here. Releasing the jaw and the brow. The muscles of the face. And inhaling up to center. Let's switch around and drop over into this bent elbow. A little bit of back and forth. Again, releasing the jaw. We don't need any facial expression here this morning. Just let it go. And inhale up to center. And if you're sitting cross-legged, let's change the legs around and sit in the other way. Dropping in. Hands are resting, can rest lightly in your lap as you sit tall here. Either soften the gaze or close your eyes. We'll take several breaths together this morning. And I invite you to begin by just noticing what attention you're needing this morning. And from this place of awareness, begin to bring the breath up from the earth, up through the tailbone, all the way up the spine, up to the tip of the nose. We exhale from there, down the body, down into the earth. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And as you continue to bring the breath into the body, I'd like to encourage you to consider counting, putting a count to your breath. So as you inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you, this is what I'm looking for, to have the exhale longer than the inhale. So if the inhale is, say, a count of 5, then the exhale could be a count of 7 or 8. So if you're there, terrific. If your exhale is shorter, consider making it the same length, or maybe 1 count longer than your inhale. If you can go a couple beats longer, that would be terrific. So we're inhaling in and filling, exhaling out, and releasing even longer than the inhale. And as we continue to breathe together, I invite you to imagine what you'd like to let go of this morning with your exhale. What don't you need here today or perhaps ever? Just let it out with that big long exhalation. And as we continue to breathe together, consider what you might like to fill your body with this morning. As you inhale, what would you like to fill yourself with this morning? And after your next exhalation, leaving the eyes closed or the gaze softened, we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. And take a moment here to set intentions for yourself this morning. And we'll seal those intentions with a single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Om. As you gently open your eyes, interlace the fingers, reach out, reach up, stretching through one side and then the other. Eventually releasing, hands come down, maybe land behind you. I'm going to move my blanket away. We'll untangle the legs so hands are supporting you as you come into a little bit of gentle windshield wipers. So just dropping in to one knee, one hip, and then the other. And then next time you land over on this left side, let's really land on it, lengthening out through the right leg. The right arm reaches and we get a big stretch here. A couple of big sweeping circles as well. Sweeping all the way up and all the way down. Reversing direction. Inhaling, reaching the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. We open up to the sky. Exhale, come on back down. Let's transition over to the other side, lengthening out through that left leg and lifting through the left arm. Big circles here. And then sweep up and around. Changing directions when you're ready. Inhaling all the way up here, and then we open the heart up to the sky. Exhaling, come on back to center. And let's sweep the legs behind you. Come to all fours. And settle yourself right into your morning warm up here. Where can you bring movement into the back body? Perhaps it's in scared cat or old cow. We exhale into our scared cat. We inhale into this old cow and bring a little bit of movement to the hips. Maybe some circling. And bringing the big toes together, knees a little bit apart, I invite you to settle back into child pose and land. We're lengthening through the back body, allowing the spine to release and lengthen. Tailbone is heavy as it drops into the heels. Nice deep breathing in the belly. And with your next breath, inhale all the way up. Let's come to thread the needle this morning. And so we want to start with hands, hands right underneath the shoulders. And we'll begin with, I'm gonna not mirror you. So I'm taking my right hand, inhaling that arm up, exhaling the right hand behind the left. Right side of my head and shoulder come to the floor as the left arm lifts. We lengthen up through fingertips here. Take a good breath and then exhale, bringing one hand to the other. So you have a little, you're just bringing your hands together in prayer position, really. Inhale back up, exhale down. One more time. And exhale. And this time as you lift, that hand can come behind your back and we'll land. Next breath, arm reaches up and then supports you to come right back up to all fours. So here we are once again in all fours, hands right under the shoulders. And we begin this time, left arm reaches up, exhale, that hand right behind the right. Landing on the left side, left shoulder, left side of your head. Inhale this arm in the air, lengthening up here. And we'll exhale that hand to the other. Inhale and lift. Exhale and inhale. One more time. Inhale up, and then we drop that hand right behind the back body. Rolling the right shoulder back as much as you can, and breathe. With the next breath, inhale and support yourself up to all fours. And from here, let's make our way right into what might be your first downward dog of the day. So we're tucking toes, we're lengthening through the back body, and make this your downward dog. Lots of creative movement here. You're looking for possibility. And while you warm into your downward dog, I'm going to take off a layer. And so continue with your downward dog, lengthening into the back body, reaching through the shoulders, starting to play with your toes here a little bit, bringing a little extra movement and stretch into the toes, into the heels, the hamstrings, the backs of your calves. And from here, knees come to the floor. Once again, child pose. Settle in. You might even consider bringing the hands alongside the body. Hands come down toward the feet. Forehead is touching the floor or reaching or resting on something, either a fist or a block or a blanket. One more breath here. And with your next breath, hands support you to come forward. Let's come all the way to our belly. Our bellies this morning. And we're coming down and we'll ultimately be landing in a Sphinx. But I'd like you to start with just a little bit of dropping the feet from side to side. And the next time feet come through center, we lengthen out through your toes. Elbows are right under the shoulders here, reaching up through the crown. Take a nice breath here, widening the space between your shoulders. Again, we're looking for space and possibility this morning. Breathing into the body, starting at the toes all the way up through the crown. Coming back down. Hands support you. Let's come right back to downward dog. I'm going to shift forward here. And we land. And from here, we'll walk forward, standing forward bend. Great place to use a block or two if the floor feels particularly far away. Lengthening out through the back body, bringing the hands to the knees. Nice long body here. Exhaling, releasing the head, the shoulders, the jaw. Softening the knees just a little here. Keep breathing. And with your next inhalation, we'll uncurl. We're just uncurling ourselves from our forward fold, inhaling all the way up, exhaling hands to your heart. Beautiful. So let's come to the front of the mat. So as you arrive here, let's begin by just having a nice comfortable stance, keeping your knees bent, and we'll come into some full body breaths. These are breaths where we inhale up, exhale, and sweep the floor. Inhaling up. Perhaps switching how your arms sweep down here. Inhale up, feet land right under your hips as hands come together, and we drop over into a half moon. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling up to center, lengthening up, hands come up, ultimately come behind your back, rolling the shoulders back, and we open into a standing camel. Heart opening posture, hips are forward, dropping into both feet here. Breathing. And then exhaling, we'll bring the arms around front, coming into a little bit of a hug, and then sort of roll yourself through this hug. So find some space in the back body here. And then inhale and switch the arms. There you go. So we roll and find space. And ultimately come to standing position. We're going to drop into mountain pose or Tadasana. Feet want to land right underneath the hips. Shoulders are over the hips. Crown is lifted. Take a moment here to find that perfect place of equilibrium. We're dropping from side to side, forward to back. Notice the patterns that your body has and see if you can offer to interrupt that pattern, bringing you to a place of greater equanimity this morning. Taking a good breath here, we drop that breath right into the earth, and we'll begin our standing sequences with heart vinyasa. And so from here, we begin rooted. We inhale up, exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, lift through the heart, bend the knees, exhale, head drops, hands lift. Head, shoulders, jaw, release. Next breath, knees stay bent, arms reach forward. We tuck the tailbone just a little bit here. Exhale, hands to the floor, straighten those legs. Head drops in. Softening the knees just slightly. We inhale, hands to the knees, lengthen through the back body. And exhale down. While we're down here, let's nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Nod the head yes. And then uncurl yourselves from here. So we're just walking up the body, inhaling, lengthening. Hands find each other and come back to the heart. We'll be doing that a couple more times. And I'm coming to a side angle here because we will be ultimately stepping back. So come to the front of your mat, please, and we'll come right back to our mountain pose. Again, those shoulders drop down the back. We lift through the crown. Palms gently open forward. As you notice the body and notice where you might be able to soften this morning. Next breath, we inhale up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale. Hands lift as knees stay bent. Inhale, arms sweep forward, knees are bent. We drop into this Utkatasana or chair pose and consider just dropping into the tailbone a little bit more here. So you're lengthening through the back body, reaching out through fingertips, long line here from fingertips right down the back. And then you might grab a block. We'll bring hands to the floor, but let's leave. I'm not going to mirror you. I'm leaving my right hand on the floor. Inhaling up with the left arm. And from here, exhaling, let's sweep this hand over the other one. We inhale and sweep it over. One more. Reaching right up through fingertips here. We'll exhale, hand comes to the floor. And we'll step back with the right foot. And take a moment here. This could be another place for blocks as well. As you shift forward and back. Exhaling. Inhaling. Next time you land forward with the knee right over your ankle, we'll drop that back knee to the floor. Engage the abs. Inhale your way up. Dropping the shoulders into this simple yet very beautiful little lunge. A little bit of a heart opener. Hips are forward, tailbone is tucked. We breathe. Eventually hands come to the heart and we come into a twist. So turning over to your left side and breathing. One more breath. Inhale right back up. Exhale, hands to the floor. And we'll, step back. From here, toes tuck, downward dog. Drop into your dog. And then we'll shift forward, and I encourage you to come to a plank. If you want to put knees to the floor, go for it. Otherwise, let's stay in plank for 2 breaths. And then knees come to the floor. And we lower on down. Hands land right about under your shoulders as you roll the shoulders back. Reaching out through the toes. And let's find our first cobra breaths of the morning. A little breath here and a little breath there. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale up and exhale. And from here, right back to child pose. Dropping in, softening the breath. With your next breath, we inhale to all fours. Tuck those toes, downward dog. And walk forward from here. Arriving and standing forward bend. We'll inhale up to a flat back, so hands come to the knees. You might want to bend the knees a little as you lengthen through the back body. Exhale down. And then inhale, slowly sweeping your way up. Hands come together and find the heart. Okay, so coming back to the front of your mat, we'll try that on the other side. Make sure you have a block or two handy. So once again, we find our mountain pose, dropping into both feet, lengthening up through the crown, shoulders drop down the back body. With the next breath, we'll inhale up, exhale, hands behind the heart, behind the back rather. Inhale, lifting the heart. Let's bend those knees. Exhale, head drops, hands lift. Releasing. Knees stay bent as you inhale, arms reach forward, finding that chair pose or Utkatasana, tucking the tailbone just a wee bit here, strong legs supporting you, breathing. Knees stay bent. We bring hands to the floor or to a block. Let's leave the left hand on the floor, this time lengthening up with the right hand. Exhale and sweep the right hand over the left. Inhale up. And exhale. Exhaling. Let's come on down. We'll step back with the left leg. And another great place to have blocks here. Just begin to bring a little bit of movement into the hips, into the back body. We're exhaling as we bow. Inhale as we come forward. Back knee can land on the floor at any point. And coming forward, we'll bring this knee on the floor, back knee on the floor. Engage those abs. Inhale up. Making your way up to this low lunge, taking a breath here, and hands come to your heart as we find our morning prayer twist. Gaze can come to the floor for a little more grounding here. One more breath. And then releasing, hands come to the floor. We'll step back to all fours. Let's tuck the toes, come to downward dog. And here's where we'll shift to plank and see if you can hold this plank for 2 or 3 breaths. You can always bring the knees down if you need to, but we'll breathe 2 more breaths from here. And then knees come to the floor and we land on our bellies. Hands right into the shoulders. Lengthen out through your toes. And take a breath here in your morning cobra. Finding exactly the cobra that works for your body this morning. One more breath. With the next breath, we inhale up, Settle right back into child pose. So big toes together, knees apart, drop in. One more breath. And with your next breath, we inhale up. Let's tuck those toes, another downward dog. This might be, we might be closing in on our downward dogs for this practice today. We'll drop those heels, and from here, walk your way forward, arriving in standing forward bend. Let's inhale, hands to the knees, lengthening through the back body. Exhale down. And let's widen the stance a little bit. Let your knees bend. Arms are heavy. You cradle the elbows with the opposite hand. And just bring a little bit of gentle rocking into this ragdoll. Gentle side-to-side movement. Head is heavy. When you're ready, we'll unroll, bringing the feet right back under the body, unravel ourselves from here, rolling our way up, lifting and lengthening all the way up. Hands eventually land at the heart. Beautiful. So grab a drink. We'll come back to the front of our mats. Let's think if you need a block up here. You might need a block up here. We'll have that just in case. So come to the front of your mat, please. We'll drop into both feet here. Shoulders drop down the back body. And again, as always, checking in with the habits of our lives here. Where are you holding? Where can you soften? And how can you bring more equanimity to the body? For me, there's always a little bit of a shift that I need to make, that I want to make over into the left hip. Just shifting myself over just a little bit. Lengthening up through the crown. I drop the shoulders down, the body. We'll inhale up from here. Exhaling, hands all the way down as we sweep hands to the floor. Inhale, hands to the knees as you lengthen through the back body. Exhale down. Let's step back with the right foot landing at a 45-degree angle. So it's a leg length back at a 45-degree angle. The front knee bends. And we make our way right up to warrior one here. And so for a little more stability, you can always walk the front foot over a little bit, so widening the distance between your feet. Inhaling up. So right hip is forward, left hip is back. Shoulders drop down the back body. Back leg is straight and strong and supportive here. As you continue to reach up through fingertips here and breathe, holding, letting this posture build itself from the feet up through the strength of the legs, the hips. This middle section is your core is just lifting all the way up to the fingertips. We breathe. And from here, let's see. Let's grab your right hand with the left and drop your weight over to the left side. Breathing into the right side body. And inhale up. Let's exhale, hands to the floor. Pivot the back foot Step up. And sweep up. Hands to the heart. Let's try the other side. Rooting into both feet, we inhale up. Exhale down. Left foot steps back. Find the right placement for your foot. As you climb your way up into Warrior One on this side, the left hip is forward, right hip is back. Shoulders drop down the back body. Settle in as you feel the strength from that back leg supporting you, noticing the connection with the earth. Shoulders continue to drop as fingertips lift. And we drop in. And with your next breath, left hand grabs that right arm and reaches it over. So we're breathing in. So I think it would be actually your right hand is grabbing your left arm. Yeah, we're breathing into the left side body here. Big, strong stretch. Inhale back up to center. Hands come to frame the front foot as we step up. Inhale, hands to the knees, lengthen through the back body. Exhale down. And then inhale all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Beautiful. Okay. I think I'll do the next set of postures from the side. Let me think about how I want to do this. So we'll start here. And actually, you might need a block for this one. So we're starting once again in our mountain pose. Dropping in. Let's inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. Let's step back with the right foot. Back foot lands at a 45-degree angle, and we inhale our way right up to Warrior Two. And so once you get here, take a moment to notice how you can bring yourself into balance. So we want to really use the right arm to reach back, lengthening out through fingertips, lifting through the crown, and breathing into this strong posture. Gaze goes gently over the left arm, and stop here for a breath. Let's inhale, arms up overhead, palms turn up toward the ceiling, holding our strong posture, exhaling, hands back down. And then left arm comes to this front leg, so the left leg, right arm reaches and finds the angle from the back foot all the way up that leg, all the way up the body, out to the fingertips. Gently allow yourself to peak here. And if this feels a little unsteady, you can grab a block, place it on the outside of that left foot, and keep lengthening here. One more breath. This up arm comes down. We'll pivot the back foot. So the right hand lands, the left arm lifts. Exhaling that hand down, step up. Inhale up to a flat back. We exhale down. And then uncurl yourself from here. So once again, coming to the front of your mat. Dropping into both feet. We inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, hands to a flat back. Exhale, and let's step back with the left foot now. So landing at a 45-degree angle, and then supporting yourself up to Warrior Two on this side. And so again, checking in, are you a little forward? Are you perhaps too far back? Where are you? Can you find that place of strength and solidity Palms open up as the shoulders drop down the back body. We'll inhale up, hands come together, palms reach up to the sky in a warrior stretch. And then landing back in warrior two as you gently take your gaze over your right fingertips. Hand comes to this leg. Left arm reaches, and this is a place for you to use a block if you need one. We're reaching and breathing and peeking under the armpit here. One more breath. And then the up hand comes to the floor or to a block. Back foot pivots. Inhale up with the right arm. Exhaling that hand to the floor. Step up. Landing in your standing forward bend. I'm going to move back a little bit here. We inhale, lengthening through the back body. Exhaling and dropping in. Bending the knees just a little bit here. Be heavy. Let it go. Uncurl yourself from here. And start to shake everything out. Let yourself be able to let go. So we shake the head and the shoulders and the hands and the fingers and just start to release it. One more shake and then we come down to our mats. And so once you get here, let me grab a drink. Let us bring the right leg out, left foot in, and settle here. And once you've arrived here, and just start to notice what your hamstrings are telling you this morning. Are you in need of a little bit of support underneath the hips? Bringing a blanket or a block under the hips can help the hamstrings feel a lot happier here. So we begin by supporting ourselves, moving butt flesh out of the way as you lengthen through the crown, shoulders drop down the back. And from here, we'll inhale, exhale, and drop over with the right arm either on top of the leg or in front of the leg. Left arm reaches. The right toes are engaged and reaching up. We gently peek under this arm and breathe. And wherever you are in this process, you may be up here, and this is absolutely perfect. Let your body be the guide. Next breath, we inhale up, land, and lengthen. Opening the hips and the heart. And then come right back. Let's switch legs. So left leg lengthens out, right knee bends, foot comes in. And again, supporting the hips as needed. Lengthening up through the crown. With your next breath, we inhale as the toes engage, the toes of the left leg engage. We'll exhale, either landing on top or in front of this leg. You can reach with the right arm. Breathing. Letting the belly take that breath right into the hips. Gently peeking under your armpit. Next breath, we inhale up, land, reach, lengthen. And come on back. And so from here, I think I really would love to fit a pigeon in this morning. So let's come to all fours. Let's see, I'll do it from the side to start with. So for our first pigeon, let's bring the right knee forward. Let those toes peek out underneath your underneath the left leg. We scooch back through the left leg. Inhale up, exhale. We want to keep a little engagement in the right toes. Notice with the exhalation where you can soften. We're reaching back through the left leg. Next breath, inhale up to King Pigeon. And then we'll switch around. And I'm coming into my left leg, so I'm not mirroring you in this at all. Left leg, left knee is forward. Scooch back through the right. Inhale up, finding a King Pigeon. Exhale and land. Keeping engagement in the left foot, lengthening out through the right leg, and noticing where your body needs support here. What can you do to support that left hip? Support your head, your forehead. One more breath. And then inhaling, we come back to King Pigeon, lengthening up through the crown. Sweep that back leg forward. Take a moment to shake the legs out. So once again, I'll mirror this time. Let's take the left leg over the right. Sitting tall here, butt flush moves out of the way as those sits bones find the floor. Lengthen up through the crown. Exhale, coming over. Turning over to the left side. The left arm opens this door and lands behind you as you hug the left knee into the body. Nice breath and exhale, dropping left shoulder down the back. This right arm can also find a spot in between the knee and your torso as you come a little deeper into the twist. Turning to the front, we'll switch legs. Left foot is engaged as you sit tall. Exhale, open this door. Land, sit tall, and exhale into your twist. If you'd like to, this left arm can land here between knee and chest. One more little twist here. And we come back to center. And make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. So knees come in to begin as you prep for Shavasana. Make any little adjustments you need as you prep for Shavasana. And eventually land on your back body. Stretching out, allowing yourself this opportunity to soften, to land. To allow the body an opportunity to take in some new information. Imagine inhaling in through your left foot and exhaling out through the right foot. Imagine inhaling in through your left hip and exhaling out through the right hip. Imagine inhaling in through the left fingertips and exhaling out through the right fingertips. Imagine inhaling in through the crown of your head and exhaling out through the soles of your feet. In the North Country now it is spring, and there is a certain celebration. The thrush has come home. He is shy and likes the evening best, also the hour just before morning. In that blue and gritty light, he climbs to his branch or smoothly sails there. It is okay to know only one song if it is this one. Hear it rise and fall. The very elements of your soul shiver nicely. What would spring be without it? Mostly frogs. But don't worry. He arrives year after year, humble and obedient and gorgeous. You listen and you know you could live a better life than you do. Be softer, kinder. And maybe this year you will be able to do it. Hear how his voice rises and falls. There is no way to be sufficiently grateful for the gifts we are given, though we do try, and especially now, as that dappled breast breathes in the pines and heaven's windows in the North Country, now spring has come, are opened wide. And so very gently begin to take a few deep breaths. Start to bring a little movement into the body. And as you're ready, knees can come in for a final hug, where you gently drop over to the right side, taking a breath there. And eventually making your way up to a seated position. Letting the sits bones drop into the earth as the crown lifts. We'll soften the gaze or close the eyes as we inhale, arms up overhead. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. Take a moment here to think back to the intentions you set. And also to thank yourself for coming to this practice. We'll end class today with a single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Namaste.